11, day 2, semester 2. We started off with the YouTube where they have 4K scenery of cherry blossoms in Japan. This year, 2021, they are 11 days earlier than average years how the cherry blossoms are blooming. So I just wanted to share. We started the class with a typing review, so I will link it on the YouTube. So if you want to improve on your typing Japanese, make sure you click on the link and work on those. These are some quizzes to go over the katakana review, the countries and advertisement and the words. So if you're interested, click on those links and strengthen your katakana. So this week, vocab, 車、自動車、bus, taxi. As you can see, bus and taxi, they are exactly phonetically the same, so these are supposed to be written in katakana. 自転車、地下鉄、電車、飛行機。It sounds like O right there, but you write it as う。飛行機。船、新幹線、bullet train. So if you want to go from Tokyo to Kyoto, people usually use 新幹線。歩いて行きます。walking, to go by walking. 歩いてきます。to come by walking. 歩いて帰ります。歩いて帰ります。return by walking. So we continue to talk about March 11th because March 11th was the day that hit earthquake and tsunami in Japan. And then we also talked about this one is the link to a adjective review. And then we talked about the particle function for ga. Make sure you write it in your notes. Preference, like or dislike, 好きです、嫌いです。skills, 得意です、上手です、苦手です。characteristics, 背が高いです、背が低いです、目が大きいです。those kind of thing. And existence, があります、がいます。And new particles and phrases for this week was or, which was か and それとも。か is within one sentence, so 試験は月曜日か火曜日です。それとも is used between the sentences. 試験は月曜日ですか？それとも火曜日ですか？ And we did the review for colors. These are the colors that we talked about. It could be non-adjective or e-adjective. Depends on how you write it. If you have e at the end, treat it as e-adjective. So non-adjective, then ではありません. If it's an e-adjective, drop e なるくないです to make it negative. So we talked about e-adjective です。drop e あるくないです or drop e あるくありません。Those are some example for e-adjectives. And then we talked about a verb conjugations, positive to negative, とっています。must change to ません。So we already did that last week. So if you haven't written down any notes, make sure you do. And then we talked about these are all e-adjectives. And then these ones you have to identify. Make sure you make it negative, okay? I will give you a second so you can pause it to identify which ones are e-adjective, non-adjective, or verb. Okay? Ready, set, go. So these are, it's kind of hard to see, but these are how to make it negative. E-adjective negative, and then you have a non-adjective. How did you do? 綺麗です。change to 綺麗ではありません。And then we talked about colors, colors notes. We already did that a couple of weeks ago. And these are the colors that you can make a negative, you can make a non-adjective to e-adjective. You can make it e at the end to make it e-adjective. And then we did some review for the colors. Make sure you pause and try that. The answer is 黄色、茶色、白と青。Another practice for a negative. So make sure you pause and try to answer these by yourself. And I can go over the answer really quick. 白いです。change to 白くないです。青いです。change to 青くないです。黒いです。change to 黒くないです。緑 change it to 緑 is a not adjective because it's not ended with E. 緑ではありません。黄色と緑ではありません。紫 is not once again, it's not an E, so 紫ではありません。赤い drop E and 悪くない。赤くないです。And this is, some of you are still having hard time making it full sentences. So I kind of created the format, okay? 私の目が this is the underlined part, either you put とてもまあまあ少しあまり全然 and then you end with this sections, either affirmative or you end with negative. So 私の目がとても大きいです。私の目がまあまあ大きいです。私の目が少し大きいです。or 私の目が少し大きくないです。私の目があまり大きくないです。私の目が全然大きくないです。So you use negative when you add these two adverbs. So make sure you add the adjective at the end, especially when you have a negative. You gotta have a negative ending. If you have a affirmative, which is とても and mama, then you gotta have these affirmative ending. Be careful on that. And then we also talk about と、そして、が、でも、か、それとも differences. と and そして is, this is within one sentence. These are connecting two different sentences. And then these are for and, these are for but, these are for or. Okay? So, I will have you try, pause it, and then try to fit in かとが in first three sentences, and then それともそしてでも within the last three sentences. This one, you have two options. Okay, so pause and try. Ready? The answer looks like these. クリスマスの色は赤と緑です。来週、ファイナルですが、勉強しません。来週ファイナルですが、勉強しません。朝ごはんか昼ごはんに魚を食べます。Or you can say 朝ごはんと昼ごはんに魚を食べます。If you eat fish in one of those times, then か。If you eat fish in both of the times, then you use と。That makes it and. Okay? 朝ごはんと昼ごはんに魚を食べます。今日試験がありますか？それとも明日ですか？ Today、we have exam or tomorrow. 母は綺麗です。そして姉も綺麗です。Mom is pretty and also my older sister. 父は歌が上手です。でもおじいさんはとても下手です。Dad, my father is really skillful at singing, but my grandfather is not skillful at all with it. So, how did you do? Next one, tell me about your parents and how they are with the body parts. For instance, あなたのお父さんは痩せていますか？父はとても痩せています。父はまあまあ痩せています。父はあまり痩せていません。父は全然痩せていません。目がいいですか？You can say 母は目がとてもいいです。母は目がまあまあいいです。母は目があまり良くないです。母は目が全然良くないです。So make sure you look at the endings, and if you have a あまり or 全然, make sure you make it negative at the end. Let's go over last concept of this week, which is か、ね、よ、ね。So か is for question. ね, speaker wants agreement for the listener. So isn't it? Like ね, isn't it? 暑いですね。And then よ is emphasizing. うるさいですよ。You know, you are loud, kind of thing. Emphasizing. うるさいですよ。ね、explanation or surprise. 暑いですね。Right? It's so hot. 暑いですね。So, for example, 暑いですか？暑いですね。暑いですよ。暑いですよ。Kind of like, be careful. It's hot. You can use it よ for that too. 暑いですね。It's so hot. 暑いですね。And then read these sentences and try to put the ね、よ、ね、か to 1 to 5. Ready? The answer looks like these. うるさいですよ。 うるさいですよ。You know, you're telling that person you're being noisy. うるさいですよ。うるさいですよ。すみません。かわいそうですね。I feel sorry for her. かわいそうですね。そうですね。そうですね。頭がいいですね。頭がいいですね。You're smart, aren't you? 頭がいいですね。いいえ、よくないですよ。いいえ、よくないですよ。No, I'm not. No, I'm not smart, you know. いいえ、よくないですよ。So in Japan, being humble is very important. So even though you might have 4.0 GPA, you might gonna say いいえ、よくないですよ. If you're in Japan, okay? Last part, which letter you will pick to complete the sentences. Ready? Answer looks like these. 日本語が上手ですね。日本語が上手ですね。この本はいいですよ。It's kind of like you are recommended that book by someone, right? Your friend is trying to recommend that book. この本はいいですよ。この本はいいですよ。ギターはうるさいですね。ギターはうるさいですよ is when you're confronting someone that they are loud with the guitar. If you say ギターはうるさいですね, you are talking to someone behind their back saying that someone is really loud with the guitar, huh? Then you're gonna say ギターはうるさいですね。ギターはうるさいですね。You might can say that phrases where they can hear you, the people who are playing the guitar. But ギターはうるさいですよ is you are confronting that person. ギターはうるさいですね is you're talking to someone else about the guitar being loud. Okay, so that's the differences. お寿司が好きですか Question. お寿司が好きですか So, I hope this helps and I will see you guys next week.